Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, Spiritually Guided Shadow. So I'm back out in nature, enjoying this amazing day. It's Monday morning, and with that being Monday, I wanted to talk about money. Money Monday. In particular, dollar bills. $20 bills, $1 bills, $5 bills, and the such. How do you process the need for money in your mind? Do you feel like you need money? Does money control you more than you realize? Really is the question. How much do you think about it? How often are you thinking about money in the midst of your day? Like maybe, you're thinking, oh, I need to put $20 in my gas tank. Oh, I need to make sure that I pay my cell phone bill. I need to make sure I pay my rent, my gas bill, whatever. I need to make sure I have money for lunch. How many times during the day does money cross your mind? And how are you taking that? Do you feel like money controls you? Is it a fear thing? Like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my light bill this month. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to pay for anything, my gas bill and my rent. Something's gonna have to get pushed back. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough. I need to make sure I pay this. Bills. Really, it kind of boils down to where does your happiness lie? Does your happiness lie in zero balances? Your rent's completely paid, all of your utilities are paid, you have food in your house, and you have a little bit of money left over. Is that where your happiness lies? Dollar bills satisfy the bills, but what is satisfying you? Does it make you happy to know that you have money coming, to know that there's a little bit of money in your pocket? And does it stress you out? Does it make you anxious when you don't know where your next dollar is going to come from, or if that dollar is going to stretch far enough, or if you are comfortable in life financially? Do you need more? Do you feel like you need more money to make you happy? Where does your happiness lie? And this conversation kind of came from, or this topic kind of came from a conversation I was having about my readings. The last video I posted was about, it was a card reading. It was a general card reading for anybody that just so happened to be on my frequency that needed to hear that. And one of the first cards that came up was about finances, about money, and kind of your mindset about it. And I was talking about how for my readings, I don't charge a set price anymore. It's all based off of donation, because I get so much more satisfaction and just happiness, in those feelings that I get are much more than I can get from $20 or $50 or whatever. As quick as that $20 will come, that $20 will go, and then I'm sitting around waiting on my next bit of happiness. I get more satisfaction from giving people readings, and even if I'm not giving you a reading, I get more satisfaction from talking to people, giving them advice, them giving me feedback on how I've helped them in some type of way, how I've changed their life in some type of way, big or small. Like, I get that's far more valuable for me than money, and I've gotten to a point in my life where I am not afraid of not having a dollar bill in my pocket. I'm not afraid of that. I don't worry about it. I don't have to worry about my financial situation, because I'm not afraid of it, and it just kind of takes care of itself. I don't think about money all day long. I'm not motivated by money. I'm not motivated. No, it's in the name. dollar bill. They literally put it in the name of the money. You know, your dollars are going to go toward bills in some way, shape, or form. Whether you are, spending it on something that's going to bring money back to you, whether you're spending it on your expenses, your daily expenses or whatever the case. Money's meant to be spent. It's meant to come. It's meant to go, and it's meant to cycle around. But does your happiness revolve around that? I've gotten to a point of peace, a point in my life where my happiness has nothing to do with money. Nothing to do with money. And that's one of the beautiful things about not waking up and going to work. I don't wake up and sit at a 9 to 5 in an office, and and I think a lot of people do that out of fear. They feel like, I have to work because I have to make this amount of money, because I have to pay these bills, and I have to pay these bills to keep a roof over my head, keep a roof over my family's head, keep my car in my possession, so that I can get back to work, so that I can pay these bills, so I can keep doing it over and over and over again. And it's a trap, and there's so much peace outside of money. There's so much peace when you're not worried about money. Sometimes I'll say to a friend of mine, I'm waiting on my check to come in the mail. No idea where this check is coming from. No idea when this check is coming. No idea how much this check is going to be. But you'll never hear me say, oh, I'm broke, I need. Oh, I don't know how I'm going to pay this. You'll never hear me say that. I legitimately do not worry about dollar bills. And, I get happiness from this, from sitting outside, enjoying this. This is happiness for me. This is my thing. No amount of money can buy this for me. This is peaceful for me. I think a lot of people confuse happiness with, comfortability. I'm comfortable. I've paid all my bills. I was able to go out and catch a movie or whatever the case. I have a few more dollars in my pocket. I think they confuse being comfortable, not being stressed, with being happiness. Not being stressed is not being stressed. That does not necessarily mean you're happy. Find your happiness. Find something that does it for you. A dollar bill, like I said, satisfies the bills. It does not satisfy you. If you have a goal to make $1,000, when you hit that $1,000 mark, your goal is gonna go to 10,000. It's gonna continuously change, because there's no happiness in a dollar bill. It's gonna come, it's gonna go. You even if you're working for yourself, or you go to work for someone else and you get that paycheck and you see that balance in your bank account, or you are looking at these dollar bills in your hand, you're not going to remember that particular $100 bill in a month. You're not going to remember anything about it. That money's going to come, that money's going to go. So find your happiness outside of finances and stop worrying about money, because if you worry about money, you're going to attract the opposite of what it is that you think you need as far as money goes, because you're worrying about getting out of debt. You're worrying about paying your bills. You're worrying about making sure that you don't lose your house or your car, things like that. You're going to end up attracting those things. Don't worry about it. Just know that it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen for you. And that may seem like a confusing or a scary concept, and a lot of people, they're not gonna quit their job. They're gonna continue going in this cycle because they feel like they have to. You feel like you have to have this money to survive. And I know we've all heard there's a difference between surviving and living. At this point, I am living my life. It's not a super lavish life where I'm traveling and anything like that. But this for me, sitting outside in the nature, just sitting outside, this is okay for me. This is wonderful for me. And I didn't spend any amount of money to come sit in the grass. I can find this anywhere. So check your mental. Check how you're thinking about money. Check where your happiness lies. What is your happiness? Like, if you've asked, or if I ask certain people, what makes them happy, it's so hard for them not to list materialistic things. They'll say my spouse, my kids, my job, my something. Many people don't know how to make themselves happy. A lot of times it's either materialistic things or it's another person at the core of their happiness, and that shouldn't be the case. Any happiness that you get from another person should just be bonus. That shouldn't be the core of your happiness. So ask yourself, what makes you happy? What makes me happy? And even if you need to get a pen, and paper and write it down, see how challenging it is for you to find your true happiness, that foundation of your happiness, aside from the happiness that you get from other people, aside from the happiness that a significant other could give you, or children, co-workers, friends, family, and then everything material. How long does it take you to list your happiness? My happiness comes from me being by myself. I love being alone. I have many, many people in my life, and I love them to pieces, and I love being around them. But my happiness comes from spending time learning myself and loving myself and listening to myself and just listening to this. You'd hear the insects and the bugs and the birds, and this is my happiness for me. So check where money lies in your life. Check the foundation of your happiness, and work on that, because there's so much peace and tranquility in not needing money, not needing people for your happiness and such. So that is what I have for you today. It's kind of went in a different direction than I was thinking, but that's okay. That is totally fine. If you haven't seen my last video that I posted 2 videos yesterday. One was talking about being selfish, and I'll link that somewhere up here, somewhere. People think that you are selfish because you use your voice to tell them what you want, what you need in order for you to be happy. And sometimes, they're not interested in providing that for you, because how dare you ask anything for yourself? That's completely selfish. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. If you're into card readings, if you like card readings, I did a general card reading. I posted that yesterday as well. I'll link that somewhere, wherever it goes as well. So if you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up right now. Give it a thumbs up. And subscribe if you haven't. Share this video. Comment below. Let me know if I'm so off track, or if you agree or whatever. Let's have a conversation about it. So thank you for listening, and I will see you guys next video.